Welcome back. Welcome back, my dear friends. If you recall, when we started cooking our mushrooms, there were 4 containers of mushroom this big. Now, that is all that's left. Why? Because the water content has evaporated. Now, what we got to do is start the next step of our culinary journey. This culinary journey is going to start by adding some onions and garlic to a pan that we cook the mushrooms in. Do not wash that pan. That's full of yum-yums and flavors there. Drizzle of extra virgin olive oil here again. We started with a little bit when we did the mushrooms. We're going to add our garlic and our onions combined. This is the sofrito. This is the base for all the flavor that you're going to be blending together when it comes to adding the mushrooms and rice and allowing the rice grains to absorb. As this is heating up, I want to talk to you quickly about rice. Risotto has a couple of things that you need to know about. First of all, when you want to cook risotto, you never add liquid to it directly without toasting it first. So we're going to start toasting it. As the onions are going to release their water content, that water content is going to create steam. By creating that steam, it's going to open the small little pores of the rice grains. That's when your risotto becomes vulnerable to absorbing flavors. And that's when the starch is released. For right now, we're going to add the rice grains, and I'm going to add everything that's there, about half a cup. The next thing I want to talk to you about risotto is portions. 1 cup of dry risotto grains will give you 3 cups of cooked risotto. 1 cup of dry risotto grains needs 6 cups of liquid to cook in and then finish with the 3 cups. What happens with the other extra 3 cups? Evaporates. In what process? In the stirring process. Why do we keep stirring risotto grains? Because as the risotto grain, it's releasing its starch content, it tends to stick to its best friend, that is the grain itself. By mixing it and stirring it, you're allowing those starch to swim into the liquid and create this creamy risotto for you. And now, look what's going to happen. We're going to toast the risotto grains simultaneously as we're cooking the onions and the garlic too. So you're going to have this beautiful nutty flavor of rice instead of this gummy flavor of rice. Wow, that rhymes. Nutty, gummy. Wow, I am good. Next, you ready? The next mushroom that we're going to add, which we didn't mix in the medley, was the porcini. The porcini is flash frozen from Italy. Porcini loves Piemonte region. Why? Because it's cold nights and it's warm days, and it usually grows in oak and pine and maple forest. Porcini, the real name of a porcini means a little piggy. Why? Because they used to use pigs to pick porcini and to find porcini and truffle. These days, it's too expensive. They don't want the pigs to eat the porcini. So what do? They use dogs. We do the same thing in truffle process. Ladies and gentlemen, when we were cooking, we were soaking the shiitake mushrooms, I use wine. The Italians and in risotto cooking remember this. A rice is born in water. It must drown in wine. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to deglaze this pan with that wine and the shiitake juices that were released while they were soaking. Increase temperature. This is the only time you're allowed to add cold liquid to a risotto. From here on, never, ever, ever again we're going to add cold liquid. Why now? Because the pores hasn't completely opened up. If you add cold liquid to risotto in the cooking process, the risotto grain that is open is going to absorb the cold liquid, is going to sit still until it comes back to a boil, and the cooking process will continue. Until then, you're going to get again what? A gummy risotto that is getting moist from inside out. And that's what you don't want. We're going to evaporate, intensify. Meanwhile, look at the weather, then come back, hug me, say, Chef, I love you. Right, Britt?
Chef, we do love you.